Let's get to our morning business report. United Airlines says it will not try to buy rival American Airlines.
And we are closely watching the Federal Reserve meeting that starts today. It could be the last one before a leadership change at the central bank. Channel 3's Jane King live at the New York Stock Exchange. Good morning, Jane.
Hi, Tracy Caitlin. Good morning. Yes, the Federal Reserve meets today and tomorrow, and in addition to it likely being the final meeting for Chair Jerome Powell, they're probably not going to make any change to interest rates. Now, Fed watchers will be looking for clues in his language about whether they see inflation or weakness in the job market as the biggest threat to the economy. Well, United CEO said a merger with American could have been transformational, but isn't happening since American would not engage. United CEO Scott Kirby said that given Americans' public aversion, a merger, which would bring together two of the world's largest airlines, is off the table for the foreseeable future. United's boss said he thought a merger would help with international flights and allow them to better compete with Delta. And Spotify is partnering with Peloton to launch a fitness category with more than 1,400 classes for users. This is Spotify's first push into wellness. Now, the move is a deeper expansion into wellness. It opens up new engagement, perhaps new money-making opportunities. Fitness content does keep users on the platform longer and creates opportunities to layer in subscriptions and advertising. Well, stocks inched higher yesterday to new records, even as oil prices rose. And today we're mixed for the start. Dow is up, but the S&P 500 is lower. Live from the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Back to you.